better. So there's an alarming discovery among the tens of thousands of children crossing the border. A small amount turn out to be members of a violent street gang that everyone in this country would do well to be more aware of, because they have many members who are in this country as well. MS-13 is based in El Salvador, and they have ties throughout Central America. They often target kids in middle and high school, forcing them to join their ranks, and they are extremely violent. Katie Pavlich is the news editor of townhall.com and a Fox News contributor. Katie, you wrote a piece about this for townhall.com. How many instances of gang members do we know of that have crossed the border with the rest of these children?
So, Martha, we're specifically referring to the Nogales Border Patrol Processing Center, and this week an executive summary, an internal executive summary from that processing center was obtained by us, and it showed that they found 16 unaccompanied minors who just happened to be MS-13 gang members. The majority of them were from El Salvador. There was one from Guatemala and another from Honduras. They were discovered after they put graffiti with those kind of gang signs on the bathroom stalls inside the facility. And after a line of questioning from Border Patrol agents, they admitted to engaging in acts of torture and murder in their home countries before heading north to the United States.
So what happened to these 16? Wouldn't they be summarily sent back immediately?
Well, there's a major problem going on in these processing facilities because these Border Patrol agents are processing them, but they're not allowed to take out juveniles from the other groups of the unaccompanied minors. And under U.S. law, you're a minor until you're 18, yet these 15, 16, 17-year-olds are working for these cartels. They're working for MS-13. And just today, I did an update on this story showing that they're now using the Nogales Processing Center as a recruitment hub for new members to come in. They're trying to recruit other teenage boys who are sharing cells with them, and they're also using the phones that the Red Cross has set up, and they're supposed to be using those to call back home or to call family members in the United States. They're also using those as a way to communicate with gang members already in U.S. cities like Atlanta and New York. And so it's becoming a huge problem because Border Patrol agents have their hands tied. I also talked to Sean Moran, who's the vice president of the Border Patrol Council, and he just said, look, we're not allowed to deal with this in a way that allows us to separate gang members out from the rest of the unaccompanied minor population. And again, I want to stress, they're recruiting other members inside this facility now, and there's not a lot that Border Patrol can do about it.
And obviously this is a vulnerable group of kids, some of whom are traveling without their parents and who may be very susceptible to being pulled into a gang like this. But I would think Homeland Security, and we spoke with Chairman Mike McCall yesterday, and he suggested that there was a concern about some of the teenage level children that were coming in. Why doesn't Homeland Security do something about this?
Well, I'm not sure what I haven't talked to Homeland Security, so I'm not sure exactly what their position is on this, but I do know that Border Patrol is supposed to process these people, and then they are immediately turned over to ICE, which of course does fall under Homeland Security. And the story we know about that is that these people are then given a court date, told to show up for immigration hearings, and oftentimes they do not. And according to my sources, these 16 MS-13 members are scheduled for placement somewhere in the United States. And that's a huge, serious public safety concern. It's a safety concern for our law enforcement agents, and it could be solved pretty easily if they would just change the policy and allow Border Patrol to separate out these juveniles from the rest of the population.
Yeah, especially if, according to your reporting, they're confessing that they are indeed members of MS-13, which is a very violent gang.
Yeah, it's one of the most violent gangs we have, definitely in North and South America, but I would say in the world. And they partner with cartels. They know exactly what they're doing. One agent described them to me as teenage enforcers. So the issue here is, sure, we have lots of minors coming over, but we have to be very careful about the definition of minor, because these 15, 16, and 17-year-olds know exactly who they're working for, and they know that they're supposed to be recruiting more people to come into that criminal organization.
It seems like an issue for FBI as well, because they have defined this group, they've targeted them, they have gone after them, and they should be very concerned as well, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
And should be in touch with the people at Nogales to find out what's going on. Katie, thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha, very much.